According to recent U.S. weekly reporting, Meghan Markle is officially out and not in the typical tabloid drama fashion. Prince William and Princess Catherine have essentially cut Meghan out of their lives permanently, with no more calls or texts. There is no longer any polite Christmas card exchange, just silence, and it feels permanent. According to royal insiders, Harry decided to publicly discuss royal family issues once more, this time during a contentious BBC interview on May 2nd. Insiders claim that William and Catherine made a decision at that time, and there is no longer any drama or back and forth, and Meghan's name is not even permitted to be mentioned in front of Kate anymore. Palace staff are strictly instructed not to bring up Meghan at all. This goes deeper than a single interview, though. It has been a slow build-up of hurt, betrayal, and emotional exhaustion. Harry's remarks, made in public, the explosive documentaries, and the tell-all interviews about Meghan's alleged diva behavior. All of this appears to have led to the senior royals' complete shutdown, and a shockingly human stressor lies at the core of this most recent decision. Catherine has been recuperating from severe health problems, and William is laser-focused on keeping her peace. So it appears that there won't be a Meghan reunion anytime soon, even if there is a chance that Meghan will be welcomed back. One source stated unequivocally that Kate will never see Meghan again, not out of petty reasons but for her own mental health, which says a lot about the situation as it stands. However, this is where things get even more intense. It's not just about avoiding each other behind the scenes. There is a sense that William sees himself as the protector of the monarchy now, especially given his father's reportedly fragile health. With that role comes difficult decisions, and this one is apparently non-negotiable. Williams has reportedly been putting a lot of pressure on King Charles, making it clear that he's had enough. It's not just that we're ignoring her, it's more like she's done. Angela Levin, who literally wrote the biography on Prince Harry, weighed in on this whole situation, saying the strategy is to not engage at all, no reactions, no public counterattacks, just dignified silence. According to her, that silence is more frustrating to Meghan than any public condemnation would be. It starves the drama of oxygen. And that royal insiders say is the whole point. It's almost poetic. Meghan, who famously cut off her own father and others from her life, is now facing the same treatment. From the most powerful family in Britain, no phone calls, no acknowledgements, not even a mention of her name in palace corridors, just cut off. And it's not just William and Kate drawing the line. Other members of the royal household are reportedly following suit. The general mood is enough. People are tired, the constant back and forth, the PR games, the backhanded interviews. It's all become too much. So what about Harry? That's where things get complicated. While William and Catherine have slammed the door on Meghan, there's still a sliver of openness toward Harry, his family kind of leniency, but even that comes with conditions. The biggest one: stop airing dirty laundry in public. According to reports, the royal family doesn't even see a path forward until Harry zips it. So, yeah, Meghan's not just in hot water, she's effectively iced out, lifetime ban level, and the way it's being done, quietly, firmly, without spectacle, is probably the harshest part of all. Prince people close to William claim that his response to all of this has been calculated rather than merely emotional. He wants to prevent the crown from turning into a soap opera, and in his view, Meghan Markle embodies everything that threatens that stability. Her erratic behavior, frequent headlines, and her use of the media as a weapon all fall short of the royal mold, and his response is complete disengagement with no more second chances. What apparently tipped him over the edge was learning that Meghan's name was still being floated within their organization. Despite the fact that a firm decision had been made to remove her from their world going forward, Kate, who has already been through a lot of stress because of her health issues, didn't just agree. She insisted that the emotional toll that Meghan's involvement has had on her is something that the public rarely sees, but insiders say it's very real, and it's not just emotional, there are also reputational scars. Recall the moment following the Oprah interview, when William yelled at a reporter, breaking protocol by saying, "We are very much not a racist family?" That wasn't just a soundbite, it was a unique look into the pent-up annoyance that William had been suppressing for months. By all accounts, the palace didn't want any public rebuttals, and William likely regretted giving Harry and Meghan even that much satisfaction. It was evidence that their strategy of controlled silence could be broken, which left him vulnerable, and ever since, he has doubled down on restraint, eliminating any public reactions and unintentional acknowledgements. There is irony in the way this is all unfolding. and that nothing is exactly what is making Meghan crazy, according to several. Meghan, who famously distanced herself from people she found toxic, including her own father, is now being given the same treatment by two royals, is like the royal family took a page out of her own book. Total cutoff, no emotional closure, no resolution, just distance and finality. Even outside the palace, bridges are burning. Edward Enninful, the former Vogue UK editor, who once bent over backwards to please Meghan during her guest edit of the magazine, is no longer on speaking terms with her. That partnership, once hyped as a cultural moment, ended in disaster. Staff at Vogue reportedly had to tiptoe around her demands, with Meghan allegedly behaving like a full-blown diva behind the scenes at the time, and Enninful tolerated it to maintain the connection, but eventually even he had enough. What's even more telling is that Meghan's treatment of a Ninal mirrors a larger pattern. She builds up relationships, quickly often build on flattery or shared interests, mint tea, and matching political views, for example. But when those relationships don't bend entirely to her, will they collapse? This has happened again and again, from former staff to celebrity allies to media figures. There's a growing trail of people who no longer want to be associated with her. And this isn't lost on the palace. The royals aren't Meghan's isolation isn't just emotional or social anymore, it's turning into something far more visible. Sources say even within Hollywood circles, the glow has started to fade. What once made her an aspirational figure marrying into royalty, breaking barriers, controlling her own narrative, is now working against her. People are wary the charm offensive doesn't land like it used to, and former supporters have either gone quiet or drifted away entirely. Prince Harry, meanwhile, continues to walk a tight rope. Despite the royal family's frustration with him, there's still a lingering sense of hope that he might find his way back on his own terms, but those terms now come with strict expectations. No more unapproved interviews, no more passive-aggressive Netflix deals, and no more dragging the monarchy through the mud. This is unlikely, but some insiders think it might occur if Meghan leaves the picture. The problem is that Harry has become so involved in Meghan's version of their story, from the Oprah interview to their documentary series to his memoir, that it would be difficult for him to back off now without betraying her and everything they've established. The trap is that the more he defends her, the more difficult it is to back off, even though Harry maintains that his motivations are based on defending his family. Many inside the palace have a different perspective. They see a man who once understood his duty now using his position to launch media attacks that are frequently filled with lies and personal grievances, even when King Charles quietly provided millions of dollars in financial support to help them leave the royal life. Harry painted a picture of abandonment, and this contradiction has irritated many behind the scenes, as well as Meghan, who seems to be turning inward. She used to be confident in her abilities to manage the media cycle, but sources claim she is now shocked by the lack of interest she is getting from British institutions, as well as the royal family. She once tried to win over the Daily Mail. The Sun. Meghan built her brand around female empowerment, inclusion, and transparency, but her detractors claim that behind the scenes, she has displayed the very behavior she claims to fight against: manipulation, elitism, emotional coercion. Staff have described volatile mood swings, collaborators have walked away, and now even her closest allies are being quiet. Take Edward Enninful, who was once her biggest backer in the British media world, whose fallout wasn't publicized. Even Vogue outlets that previously gave her glowing coverage are now reporting on her with brutal honesty, and that shift has been startling.